Okay, this is it's a bit of a mess of a color scheme for an arch kite, but what we've got is trying to a whole load of different color panels to explain the different parts going on here. Um, Basically, you've got an overall arch kite coming to two rod control points, which if it has to tack, if it's not going to be contained within a boundary track, a circular track that it runs in. If this is, say, attached to a boat and it has to tack, it would be best that this is on a rotatable rod so that that could spin around and invert the whole kite system. You'd end up with these on the bottom. It's not perfectly set up for inverting, and for inverting you might want stiffened rods up the front there, joined together, and a lead at the bottom that you could pull the whole thing over. Um, Sorry, I've distracted myself there. This basically is a steerable arch kite system, and what you have these foils on the top. You have a set of foils at the front and back there. It's two arches back the way, two arches topwise. Um, yeah, two arches vertically, two arches downwind. And on the first arch, if we look, you've got these orange and white panels here. That's your standard sort of kick sills there. If I turn off those foils just now, we'll see the orange and white ones there. Kind of like a standard mothra type arch. You notice they're joining onto the second set at the back there. So they're actually fixed on there. There's ventilation through. I guess you're going to be able to spill a fair bit of wind through that. We've talked about elasticating it before, but I don't think in this case it's probably necessary because there's so much vent there. It would be able to take it. It would be able to take quite a hammering. Now the difference I've made here is these vertical, well, not quite vertical plates, but you see how they're reflecting in the plane of the arch itself there. Slightly different front and back. I've set those up. The front set of steerers, they're on this line that is not connected to the rest of the arch. The back point is there. See that back point there, there, there. That could be pulled with that line. Now, I'm assuming that it's going to be okay to put a little stiffening rod across, like a wee post from setting on that point on the arch there. If you could pull one across there, certainly on the bottom it would work. You could create a shape that would be able to pull across that way. If it needs to be suspended on that lifting arch, that's fine. Of course, with this structure on the top, you are going to be able to hold a rod there fairly easily. Now, the whole point of these vertical plates is that they allow the whole kite to steer. So if you look at this, the line that I was saying that those back points are on, this line here, there goes on to there. So if that was pulled to the right, then all the plates would be pointing tail to the right, a bit like that, and the whole thing would move, or pull to the left. I have proposed this before with the top plates, but it's maybe combined with that this could be neater. If, say, I was using the control line that I had along the load lines before to control the steering of the kicksills and the vertical plate itself, that might well be a better solution than this separate system I've got here. or again, joining these might be better, and separating the two layers front and back in order to achieve that. It is nice to have some sort of joining between these, though. Maybe I would have some other way of. I'm sure there are other ways of joining those together, but it certainly looks like it would grab a lot of wind, stay floaty, and be able to steer. I don't know, is that the full primary objective? But yeah, it seems to work for me at the moment. Let me know what you think. Cheers.